You know, it's very obvious from the comments and the sentiment in the space that a lot of people have been falling for the negative rhetoric. And because of that, there are a lot of people that are going to get caught on the sidelines. A lot of people are waiting for 40-cent ADA and 30-cent ADA. Frankly, prices that right now the data is not supporting coming. And, you know, maybe we get some negative events that take us there, but understand how bad they have to be because there is very thin liquidity to the upside right now. And I do want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the breaking news of Cardano hitting a new all-time high in terms of TVL. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So ADA at the time of filming this video is 55.32, which I think we can all agree is, you know, very discounted ADA from the highs that we saw all the way back in December. $1.32, right? Pretty much everything in the space is down significantly from its all-time high, apart from BTC. But that's just been kind of the story of the year. We have just had altcoins get beat up and beat up and beat up time and time again, and we just haven't seemed to be able to make up some significant ground yet. And I will say right now, a lot of people are falling for the negative narrative. I've seen a lot of people that are talking about 40-cent ADA and 30-cent ADA and us falling back to the lows that we have not seen since all the way back in the summer of 2024. And frankly, right now, the data is not showing it. The order books are not showing it. We actually have a higher likelihood of surging past $1. And I'll talk about that more here in just a moment. But a big thing I want to talk about first is actually this new all-time high in terms of Cardano TVL. Now, I'm not talking about overall value because obviously that's going to fluctuate just based on the price of ADA alone. But what I do want to talk about is the involvement of ADA in TVL itself. We can see that over the last 24 hours, we had a huge surge in Cardano TVL. All right, this brought us to a new all-time high. And where this was on is MinSwap. I don't know whether this was a bunch of ADA or LPs being added to within MinSwap, but it's a pretty significant surge nonetheless, 186% just in the last day alone. And again, guys, this has led to a 55% surge in the TVL of the Cardano ecosystem value-wise. So that's a pretty big deal, pretty notable. We have never seen a surge that large in that short of a period of time. So definitely something worth watching how that's going to play out. And let me know, obviously, if you guys discovered what this was. Maybe there'll be a breakdown that comes later today, but wanted to bring that to you guys nonetheless. But I really want to talk about, you know, we've had a lot of these major exciting things going on. Even like I talked about in my earlier ADA video, there's a lot of the bad news in the space has actually been flipping to good news. Trade deals, progress in Congress with bills, right? There's a lot of stuff that's leading us towards this crypto embrace. And, you know, people are going to get stuck on the sidelines. They're going to get stuck playing games and blowing their bags and wonder why they missed out on generational wealth. And people can always do whatever they want. But I want to give you guys a very good visual for where we're at. And that is that the market is not supporting the negative claims. For example, here's the order books on Binance. As you guys may or may not know, most trading takes place on centralized exchanges. Take a look at the imbalance on the buy and the sell side. All right. On the buy side, you're talking almost $15 million or 15 million ADA ready to be bought between here and 40 cents. Between here and 70 cents, there's only 5.6 million willing to be sold. So there's almost a 66%, or no, almost a 300%, 200% math. There's almost 3 times as much ADA willing to be bought than there is willing to be sold, just in those ranges alone. And it gets worse the further out you get from the mean. All right. There is very little ADA to go around in the crypto market. And some people might say, oh, well, why isn't price moving? You need demand. Demand has been very low. People have been tiptoeing around the market. It's the PTSD like I've talked about. And I need to remind people how much liquidity there is parked in stables in the market right now. It's huge. It's some of them all, actually, frankly, it's some of the largest amounts of liquidity we've seen. Yes, USDT dominance is at levels that we have seen before, but a lot of capital has been sliding into stablecoins and just waiting for its moment to accumulate, and it hasn't done it quite yet. And the question then is, where are things going to flock to? ADA is shown to be kind of that point that receives a lot of liquidity when the confidence is there. The confidence hasn't been there from retail. This is what I've talked about time and time again, right? We're still waiting for that to happen. But what happens now when you pair up very little supply in the market with very high demand? prices get a little bit poppy. Okay. Now, obviously, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. Maybe they choose something else. Maybe they don't. And I will say that they have been choosing ADA more and more and more as time has progressed. Again, like we talked about yesterday, it's why ADA had the biggest surge of those 5 assets listed in the Crypto Strategic Reserve back in March, right? It's why ADA is one of the few assets to not set a new low following February. Things are changing very quickly in the crypto market, and a lot of people are going to screw it up. You can do whatever you want. I see all the people saying ADA's dead. It's kind of funny to talk about a $20 billion market cap, right? That does, half a billion to $1 billion in daily trading volume. And people saying that it's dead. Also, while we're making some of the biggest progress from a technical standpoint we've ever seen. So you can do whatever you want, right? I'm not here to convince you of anything. It's not what I do on the channel. I just bring you the data. I bring you the information so you can make a decision for yourself. But it's very clear where the trends are headed towards longer term. And by longer term, I mean, as we approach, late 2025 into 2026, I still think we have a big year ahead. I think that there's, still some big surges in terms of price coming. And we got to be patient. Unfortunately, this year has sucked because of all the negative things. But again, like I mentioned, they are shifting. They are turning positive. And all it takes is one spark, guys. So I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.